During the peak of the last ice age, early humans faced extreme and unforgiving winters. Temperatures plunged rapidly, turning vast ancient forests into silent, frozen, hostile landscapes. With limited resources, every step in this endless white wilderness was a battle. Natural water sources froze solid under several feet of impenetrable, icy frost. Moving even a short distance required immense physical effort and constant determination. Survival depended entirely on the strength, cooperation, and unity of the small clan. A massive dark storm brewed overhead, threatening to bring a deadly freezing blizzard. When the sudden storm hit, the group had to hold tight to avoid separation. They huddled closely, using their bodies to block the freezing blasts of wind. Through the blinding snow, a dark cave entrance offered a glimmer of hope. Entering the dark sanctuary, a primitive torch illuminated the cold stone walls. From inside the cavern, they watched the violent winter storm rage harmlessly outside. The safe interior offered shelter, but they needed to find a secure sleeping area. The exhausted clan slowly filed into the cave, finally escaping the freezing winds. They quickly began gathering dry wood to prepare for the long, cold night. The dry branches were carefully gathered and placed in the center of the cave. Using simple tools, they worked tirelessly to generate enough heat for a spark. They desperately rubbed dry wood together, hoping to spark a life-saving flame. Finally, a tiny spark caught, and a warm golden flame began to grow. The clan gathered closely around the campfire, feeling its intense, welcoming warmth. The crackling fire became their lifesaver, casting dancing shadows on the stone walls. Adding more dry wood, they ensured the precious fire would continue to burn. The freezing cold began to recede as they warmed their hands over the fire. Relief washed over their faces as the biting cold of the blizzard faded away. From the outside, the cave entrance glowed with a warm, inviting orange light. Though the storm still howled outside, inside they felt safe and secure. The stark contrast between freezing nature and cozy shelter defined their survival. They examined their thick animal hides, preparing to wrap themselves for sleep. Wrapped tightly in warm fur, they insulated themselves from the drafts. Together, they prepared the remaining skins to ensure everyone had adequate warmth. They looked after each other, sharing their limited resources to survive the night. Cozy and secure, the small community prepared to face the freezing night together. With their bodies warmed, they could finally rest their tired, aching limbs. The main survivor sat quietly near the entrance, vigilant against any sudden danger. Carrying extra firewood, they kept the hearth burning steadily throughout the night. As the storm raged outside, the clan slept peacefully in their warm sanctuary. Shared warmth and mutual protection kept the harsh prehistoric winter at bay. Suddenly, a strange sound outside the cave woke the vigilant leader from sleep. An enormous prehistoric beast cast a terrifying shadow near the cave's opening. The clan remained completely silent, staying absolutely still in the deep shadows. Slowly, the leader crept toward the cave mouth to inspect the snowy darkness. Fortunately, the beast had passed, leaving only the howling wind in its wake. Relieved, they returned to the fire, knowing they had survived another threat. As morning approached, they assessed their small and dwindling supply of food. They carefully roasted a small piece of preserved meat over the gentle flames. Each member received a vital portion, sustaining their energy for the day. With food running low, they would soon have to brave the cold again. They dug deep into the fresh snowdrifts, searching for edible roots. Deep beneath the frozen ground, they discovered a small, hardy winter plant. They carefully inspected the rare green sprout under the warm glow of firelight. Though small, this discovery meant they could survive for another day. Above the frozen peaks, a breathtaking canopy of stars filled the prehistoric sky. As they slept, the embers of the campfire slowly began to fade. Waking in the cool air, they quickly nurtured the fire with fresh wood. With determination, the survivor watched over the flame, keeping the cold away. Outside, the relentless Arctic wind continued its icy sweep across the valley. In the vastness of the frozen world, their tiny cave remained a beacon. A new, even more violent snowstorm swept down from the high northern mountains. Struggling through the deep drifts, the leader stumbled into the freezing snow. A companion quickly reached out, helping him back onto his feet. Working together, they helped each other navigate the treacherous and icy terrain. Exhausted and freezing, they finally managed to scramble back inside their cave. They looked back at the deadly whiteout, grateful for their secure shelter. Warm and safe once more, they rested their tired bodies by the fire. Their mutual care and cooperation had pulled them through the worst. This cave had become a true home, a fortress against the Ice Age. They worked together to repair and reinforce their primitive animal hide clothing. When the wind finally calmed, they ventured out to gather more firewood. They returned carrying heavy branches, securing their fuel supply for days. Each contribution sustained the community's well-being throughout the remaining cold weeks. At dawn, the first golden rays of sunlight broke through the clouds. The leader inhaled the crisp, fresh morning air, feeling renewed hope. They walked to the entrance, greeted by a calm and beautiful landscape. The vast snowy valley sparkled under the warm and bright morning sun. With renewed strength, the prehistoric clan stepped forward into the new day.